Hello guys, in this video we are going to transform the way you handle your finances by creating an invoice automation system using the Excel lookup VLOOKUP function. At the end of this video, you create an automated invoice template that automatically pulls client information, calculates totals and taxes, and even adapts to different currencies. So if you are in, let's quickly dive into the first. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is to we are going to copy from the already template that I have already designed. So I'm going to be copying the items here and paste it in the new Excel worksheet so that it will be fast. But meanwhile, I will advise you to type in your own information, the business name, address, phone number, email address, and some of the information in the template. So I copy them, and I will now copy the items to make it faster. I'm going to copy from the name down to everything we are going to be needing to build the invoice template. So here, copy up to this extent, then I will paste it in my new Excel worksheet. Okay, so you need to change the name of the business name, enter your address, enter your phone number, the email address, then the currency for the regionalizing the information, then the invoice, which you are going to put in the invoice in the bold so that people will know that you are working with invoice. You can actually format this in the way you want, but here we are clearing the format so that I can be able to reformat it again. So here I will increase the size of the invoice, make it 24, bold it, then I'm going to highlight the invoice number, the date. The date is the actual date you are sending the invoice, then the due date is the date your invoice will be due for payment. So I have to clear the format in these ones and reformat them again. Do them, adjust these things just the way you want. Adjust them the way you want. Meanwhile, you can actually download an invoice from a website that already have an invoice template and work with, instead of creating a new one, just the way we are doing this. So here are these items. I have to copy the items that are going to be part of my invoice. Here I have item, the item description. The item here refers to the number, item number 1, number 2, etc. So here we have item description, quantity, unit price, and total. So I'm pasting it now. Here pasted, I have to remove the format, then and reformat it. You can change the item to number. So here description, how to widen it so that the description will be seen clearer. Here I have the quantity. I'm going to change the quantity to hours, that is the hours work, then hourly pay, payment, how much is being paid per hour, then the total. So let's adjust them and format. Okay, you can do these things on your own. You can make it the way you want it, format the way you want it. I'm going to wrap the text. Good. Now we are seeing Alipay clearly. Okay, so this is the invoice template. Let me just make a little adjustment. I'm going to add a logo, but instead of adding a logo, what I will do is to add a shape so that someone can actually add a logo inside the shape. But this shape is going to occupy a space where the logo will occupy. So that's it. So because it's not the real logo, I will type inside it add logo. So in case you are using this template to start, or you are just working from this template, all you need to do is to add your logo inside this, or you just remove this box and add a logo from the pictures. Okay, so let me place it at the middle so that you will see it clearly. Add logo. Okay, I'm going to format the invoice, the invoice location, so I'm highlighting it, placing it here, color. Now you can actually change distance using a theme. A theme will easily change the colors of what you're doing all at once, but let me leave the theme of a thing and first of all do them on my own the way I want it. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the invoice. I'm going to put the color, let me use ash color. Then I'm going to highlight the invoice number, hold the control key, highlight the date due, hold the control key, highlight the client's name, then I'll add the color. Okay, let's use this light blue color here. Then highlight the client's email, still add the blue color. Then I'm going to highlight the item, this the main invoice item, so I'm going to change the color. Let me use this color here, it's better for me. Then I'm going to highlight the place where items are going to be. You can increase your own, but I'm just using just about 4 lines of items. As a freelancer, you will not use much more than that, so I'm going to use this greenish color. Choose your color however you like. Okay, so this is it. We've been able to create the invoice template that we are going to work with, but we need to add the subtotal, the tax rates, and the tax amounts. So let me pick it up and paste there. Okay, so I'm going to paste it. That should be in cell G23. Okay, so I paste here. So that's it. Well, let me wrap the text around here so that it will be clearer. Clicking the font button and wrapping the text. Okay, so that's it. We have been able to accomplish this now. So we are going to go to the next section where we are going to look at creating the here we are going to create the client's database. What we are going to do is here, first of all, name this sheet invoice. So we create another sheet, name it clients DB, client database. Press enter. So here what I'm going to do is to copy what I already have and paste it. So you are going to type in your own information just as I did, but it doesn't mean that my information and your own information is going to be the same thing. All you need to do is type in, I'm clearing the, I don't want the table. Let me just clear all formats. It's like I remove everything. Okay, clear all formats. Okay, so what we're going to do here is you have to type in your information. This client's ID, client's name, and so on and so forth. I think I need to leave it the way it is. Okay, let me increase the size. Let's widen the, let's make this thing 20. It's like 20 is too much, but I think it makes sense. Okay, so we have here the client ID, the client name, address, email. Just put in whatever you think is necessary for you, and that's just all we need. Okay, when you are done, you have your client database. It can be as many as you want, and that's it. Okay, now we are going to look at the VLOOKUP. We are done with the where we are copying from. I think we are going to close this. We don't need it again. So here we are going to concentrate here. Now look at your client ID. We are going to use the client ID to serve as our invoice number. You can decide to change it to anyhow you like, whatever you want. Just look at everything here. Now this is a table for me. I like working with table because it makes it easy. The name of the table is universal within that workbook. So if you don't know how to create a table, you just highlight your data, the entire data space, then go to insert, click on table. It's already highlighted the range, then click OK. So when you click OK, you change the name of the table, so you just convert it to the name of the table, and that's it. You've created a table. So I'm not creating another table. So this table here, I named it client detail. Okay, so before we move ahead to our invoice to create the VLOOKUP to pull out information from our client database, we first of all get the invoice numbers. Now the invoice number is going to be these numbers here, which is our client's ID. So what we are going to do is to create a list that will carry the invoice number or the client's ID here. Okay, so here I'm going to place my cursor here in this cell B9. Then I'm going to go to data validation. Then I'm going to use the lists method. Then the source is going to be client DB. Then from here down I can pull it. I don't know how many your database is going to be, but let me just stop here. That's 25. Then I will click OK. Okay, so here now you see that we have a drop down list, so which you can select the number of client databases here. So if peradventure you added another client later, let's say number 6, client name, best ng Ox Road number ng gmail.com ngn. Let's say $65. Okay, let's look at leave that one for now. So here, have added this, that means our item has become 6. So as you increase your client database, the client ID will keep on increasing till the range ends, so you can increase the range. So I haven't done that for our date, since we are going to be working with the present date, so we have to put in the formula equals today, parenthesis. So it will always have the current date, the day you are sending the invoice. You can format that date, like change this here. Let's make it Times New Roman 14. Okay, so you put in your due dates, which I don't really know for now. So we are going to be pulling our client's info. So let's start with currency. So we are going to use the VLOOKUP, so we have to enter equals VLOOKUP. Now the VLOOKUP has the following. The syntax has the following. So we are going to look up value. So we are looking up this value here. We are looking up value here in our clients in the invoice number. So here is going to be absolute. So here I'm going to put absolute referencing in this place. So that's where we are looking up for our value, so that when whichever value is here, the information in that row will be pulled out to fill up this our invoice. So here I'm going to put comma. So we are looking at the table array. Now the table array, in case you are not using a table, what we are supposed to do is to select this entire table. Now this array gives us client detail. So what I'm going to be doing here is, instead of selecting the array, I will just put in client detail. So I'm working with the table, the client detail table. Now the column index, since we are looking at currency symbol, now you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The column index here is column number 8. So we are going to put 8 here. And for the lookup value here, we are going to have true or false. So we are selecting exact match. So which is false, then we press enter. So here we are done with this. So let's just try it here. You just say number 1. So already you have it. That's US dollar. So if you select number 5, that's US dollar 2. You select number 3, that's pound sterling. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing. So since we already have this, I'm going to copy this so that I will not be putting that. All I need to do is to change the column index for the rest of them. So for my client's name, I'll paste this. I'll paste for my client's name. For my client's name, I'm going to paste this, but I'm going to change this to number 2. That's going to be my client's name. For my client address, I'm going to paste this. So I'm going to change the client ID here to be number 3. Then for my client email, I'm going to paste this and change the column index to number 4. For the detail here, I'm going to put this. But what's the detail here? Let's see. Detail. Okay, that's the task type. Here is going to give me column number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Column number 6. So I'm going to change the column index to number 6. Then for my hourly rates, I'm going to also paste this and change this to number 7. The column index to number 7. That's it. So we've been able to do the VLOOKUP. As you can see, the whole information is being pulled out. If we change this to number 2, it's going to give us the entire thing. Is changed right now. Wait a minute. Okay, something happened here. Let's correct this. Okay, so that's it. So we have okay, our final step is to perform calculation, and the calculation we are going to perform is quite simple. So here, when we put in our hourly, the number of hours we are supposed to, let's assume 7 hours at this rate, we are supposed to get the total, which is going to be the product of here and here. So what we have to do is to put in equal sign products. You can actually put multiplication sign products of here, comma, here, close parentheses, then you press enter. So we are going to copy this down to here. In case you have item number 2, number 3, number 4. Then the subtotal is going to be the sum from here to here, which is going to be equals sum from here to here, close parentheses. Now let's assume our tax rate is 10% or 7.5%, so let's just use 7.5%. So this is our tax rate. So here our tax amount is going to be the subtotal times the tax amount. So here we're going to have equals this times this. Okay, so that's our tax amount. So here is going to be the total due your client is going to pay. So here we are going to have equals the subtotal plus the tax amount. Okay, so this is it. So this particular one, we are supposed to add our currency symbol here. So we are going to add our currency symbol here. So the moment we add this currency symbol, this particular place is no longer going to be a calculated field, even though it's already calculated. So what we're going to do is to concatenate this field from here. So what we do here now is to, instead of using this, we are going to use equals concat. We had that's B. What is it? Let's see. What is that cell? Okay, here. Sorry. So we have here this cell here. So we're going to, that's B6. We're going to absolute value. Okay, so we are concatenating here. That's the text. Then we now put sum here and the tax amount. So we press enter. Okay, so that's it. So we now have this, so you can increase this, change this to just and make it font 14 and make it bold. Let's widen here a little bit, and that is it. We just widen here small. Okay, so we've done our calculation. So anytime you want to create an invoice, all you need to do is to change to your client's ID. That gives you the entire detail. Then change the number of hours. Let's assume you work 3 hours at this rate. So everything is calculated, and that's it. So you send to your client. That's it. You don't need to spend money on invoice platforms or waste time creating invoices. You have created an automated invoicing system that automatically pulls clients' information, performs calculations, and adds currency customization. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this